Bite-Sized&Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized&Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks.
Welcome. I'm Erin.
And I'm Tammy.
And this is
Byte-Sized&Bossy.
Oh, so before I've gone fast and now I go slow, and look at that. That was like the best time.
Well, maybe that's a clue, right? Maybe you need to
also,
slow
I feel like
down.
you knew I was going to go the opposite direction. I feel like you didn't
I'm
think I was going to do the same
yes,
thing.
and I'm psychic. I'm buying lottery tickets today.
Amazing. Well, we have an amazing guest today. She is a rock star, and you know her. I don't know her as well, but I've met her. And her name is Jesica Serrano, and she's the CMO of Bagel Brands. So, Jessica, welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you. And so, folks that are listening, including myself who don't know everything about you, if you could give like that, that elevator pitch of who are you? How'd you get here? That would be great.
Everybody tells Friday. There's a lot of Friday energy going on today.
Friday
bring the Friday energy, because these people are going to be
vodka. Who knows?
These people are going to be listening on a Tuesday, and Tuesdays are not nearly as fun as Fridays. So let's inject some of that fun.
Yes.
Like, we're here to have a good time, girls. Keep it in
Friday
perspective.
On a Tuesday. Yeah. So I'm originally from, I grew up in Southern California. I went to USC.
Yeah.
In SoCal. I grew up in San Diego. I've always worked in food. I started my career at Nabisco. I was a sales rep slinging cookies and crackers. Moved around. I lived in Bentonville for a while when I was working for Kraft when they owned Nabisco. Yep. I did my tour of duty in Bentonville. That's when I realized I wanted to get more into the brand marketing side of things. And so I went back to school at night. I started my marketing career at Dole in Westlake Village. And then I ended up getting into QSR. I moved to Taco Bell, was my first QSR job, which was a super fun blast. And I've had the chance to move around a few different brands, moved my family to Miami for a Burger King role, worked for Dig In most recently, based in New York. And now I'm about 6 weeks into a new role at Bagel Brands. So
that's awesome.
What the heck is Bagel Brands? What is that?
I think I know.
Bagels. I think I know. I think it's owned by JAB Holdings, French company. Okay, check that box. And I think Einstein's is one of them, but I also think you guys own like breakfast.
Also, it kind of sounds like you already know.
No, I know some of it. I don't know all of it. So tell us what Bagel Brands is.
4 brands. Okay. The largest is Einstein Bros. Then there is Manhattan. There's Noah's New York out of California. And Brugger's Bagels.
Gotcha. So it is just the bagels.
Most of those.
It's all bagels.
It's all bagels. And I saw some videos of you making bagels in your new job. So tell us about that. That's a kind of a cool experience. Do you usually go and work in the kitchen for a new company?
Always.
How do you make a bagel?
Well,
now I know. I didn't know. This was my first time making bagels a few weeks ago. But yes, every time I have started in a restaurant role, I've always spent time working in the restaurant, because I feel like you can't really tell the story of a brand if you don't know the actual experience. So definitely wanted to get into the bakeries and learn how to make bagels. But yeah, basically you start with a dough, you proof it. I learned all about the proofing process. And then the fun part is making all the different ones. So depending on the flavor, like the one that blew me away the most was Asiago, because you get this like bin of like all these beautiful pieces of cheese, and then you just like slap it on there, and then you push it into the oven, I think like 500 degrees, and then voila, fresh hot bagels.
I don't actually think I'm just going to be honest. I don't think I ever knew how a bagel was made.
Did you think they grew on trees?
I mean, when you go to Panera, they're just in the basket. So like, I just have never thought of it. Like, that's really cool.
Well, you know what? I feel like that's part of what I need to do, is share more of the story.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
Turns out you're in marketing.
I think that's
what we
actually a
do.
really good plan because so many people right now are into like making their own sourdough and talking about
Yeah,
their yeast and like
Not
that
that
whole
person.
culture. Yeah, you and I aren't that people, but like
I'm
my
not either.
stepmom
Oh
is,
yeah, I
and
was
it
gonna be
is
like, do you do it?
delicious.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, Jessica, I got to meet you when you were at Dig In. And then
Mhm.
as we were preparing for today, by the way, thank you for coming on short notice. We've been
Of course.
talking about it and we had a cancellation this week and it worked out really well. But so when I knew you from Dig In, and then I was looking at your background and like you, as you just described, you come out of CPG, which means you're
mhm,
like by nature a data driven gal.
That's
And
true.
then you're at Taco Bell, Burger
mhm.
King. I actually think Dig In seems like the smaller job
Yep.
that of sort of your resume. So talk to us about working in some of these big companies.
Yeah, so I really learned and cut my teeth as a marketer, I'd say, in a lot of ways at Taco Bell. I did start my career at Dole, and that was very foundational, selling fruit. But Taco Bell is a brand that really has such an innovative culture. And so I learned how to run this rhythm, this pace of launching these LTOs. So it was just like this pipeline of hundreds of ideas and whittling them down and testing them and launching them. I really learned a rigor around that has carried me through these other roles. And so that's what I did at increasing scope at Taco Bell, and then came in and led that at Burger King. And so, yeah, I think in some ways, maybe Dig In may seem like an interesting next step for me, but it was
Yeah.
because I was starting to get really deep in one expertise, which is menu innovation. And as a marketer, there's so
Uh,
much more than that. I always like in
yeah.
marketing to like engineering, like everybody has their kind of
Mhm,
verticals of expertise. And once I realized that I had ambitions for CMO, I knew that I had some gaps that I was going to need to
mhm.
address, and realized that it was going to take a really long time to address them in a large organization where you have to do these like rotations. And I knew that a more emerging, startup kind of organization would give me a chance. And it allowed me to own more of those things. And so that's exactly what I did. And I was really transparent about that when I interviewed at Dig In. I'm like, here's what you get. I bring a lot of strategic thinking. I am data driven. I've done this at scale. I know what it takes to scale,
Mhm.
but I've never run an email campaign. I don't know how to do social media. And so you're gonna have to let me build a team that like rounds me
Mhm.
out. And so over the last 3 years, I got to learn all of that, like truly hands-on keyboard, hands in the photo shoot, like truly, truly, truly.
That's great.
And no regrets.
Well, I think that's a really nice outline for anybody out there who is wondering how do they go from like this niche specialization at a bigger company into a
Mhm.
CMO role. And we often talk about having to change jobs sometimes to get to like the next income level or to the next level generally. And I think that's a great example for people to hear.
And
Yeah,
also if you want to, right? Like some people
Mhm.
want to be, jack of all trades and other people want to be skilled at only one thing. And I say like when you get to the CMO level, you really need to be the jack of all trades or complement yourself with someone that can do an email campaign,
Or the
right?
Jill of all trades.
A Jill. Yes, fair point. Fair point. Okay, so I have a question, unrelated. Are you always in rooms that are completely white with white furniture? Is that how you
no,
interior design?
I totally thought that question was gonna go in a different way. I didn't know we were talking about literal
Most
like
people think that of
furniture. I
me.
thought we were talking about boardrooms. I was
No,
like, wow.
Like,
mhm.
hit it home. But you know what? Let's go there. But I do
Over
see
to you.
that she has a white outfit
I
on
mean,
and white walls
there's
and white
nothing happening, and
furniture. It's
I
very
assume that
Miami
your
where she
favorite
is.
color is white. Do
You
you
know what?
only like
Actually, I know I'm giving that energy, but if I was to give you a room tour, which I'm not prepared to do, I'm like barely out of boxes in this house I just moved into.
I'm
There's
here for
lots,
it.
my bed is yellow. I have lots of bright over there. I just have not finished the space. So
You said you just
apologies.
moved though, so just moved in, so, like, where where are you in the world?
I just moved. My family and I, we just moved from Florida to Denver. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, family. Sorry, Tammy,
Well,
I
yeah.
get to ask a question soon. But like family, who are these people?
These people are my husband and my twin girls. And another fun fact about me is I roll deep. People ask you, like, how do you get it done? I lean on my tribe. So at the moment, that also includes my sister-in-law, but the
Ah,
cast of crew
amazing.
of people that are part of my nucleus can change at any time. Sometimes it's my in-laws, sometimes my mom, sometimes it's my
Mhm.
nieces. Like I always have somebody that's like helping me to keep the wheels on track.
That's really amazing. And I have a girlfriend. Her name is Carla, and she's one of my besties. And we call it Team Carla. There's just
Mhm.
a team of people. So you've got Team Jessica. There's team of people that are there to support you and help you do the hard things. And it
Yep.
sounds like being a
Yeah.
mom of twins at age 5 and moving around with these littles for these
Mhm.
jobs. That sounds like a big impact on your family.
Does
Yeah.
any of your tribe live in Denver?
Well, they do now because they've come with me. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait,
They
you're
live they
moving them
moved
there?
with you?
Okay, so
Oh, hold on. Can I
yeah,
get on
Bring
Team
me in your
Jessica for like a
tribe.
weekend?
I love to bring people on my vacations too. Like you get to come with me if you will help me wrangle these children. But no, my
Okay.
sister-in-law moved with us to Denver. And then like my in-laws, they're um they're flexible. They come, so my husband's from Cuba. So
Cool.
they're currently in Cuba, but then at some point of the year they will be here. Like we just keep it fluid. People come in and out.
I'm over
I
here.
love this.
Yeah, I truly am in disbelief, right? Like if I said to my parents, which I have done multiple times, I'm like, I'm moving here, they'd be like, bye. Like, see you later. So like that's unbelievable. Unbelievable, which allows you to continue to grow in your career and move to all of these places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You mentioned earlier on, you said something about going to school at night. So did you go back for an MBA or
I
what was
did.
that situation? And is this
Yeah,
before or after the kids were born?
long before kids.
Okay.
And now but I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I did that. And I would say parenting is like the only other time that I've felt like there's that's the only comparison. It's just when parenting sometimes feels like two separate jobs, right? Like you come home and you do your other
Mhm.
job, which is being a parent. So yeah.
Yeah, I say I like to go to work because I fail as a parent, right? Like I'm like, there's not many negotiations that I win. And they're like, I'll do this if you let me do that. I'm like, no, that's not
Yeah.
how this works.
Erin also is not in sales. So I think maybe if she had more objection handling
Oh,
experience, that she would be better at
You
negotiating with her
you can come
children.
negotiate. Feel free.
yeah, I
I
Send
just
me your
will.
don't know.
tribe.
I'll be there in a few weeks. So, Jessica, when you're not doing all this work stuff, what do you like to do for fun?
I think I'm pretty boring outside of work. Like I am definitely, and I married a person who um likes to be busy and do a lot of things and is really active. And I am one of those people that I can be an extrovert, but 3 days of that and I need to be in a dark room with Netflix on binging. So I need a lot of recharge. So I
All
try
right.
not to do a lot when I'm
So
not
you
working.
have no hobbies?
My hobbies are negotiating with my husband in terms of like things that where I am willing to participate in his hobbies. So like we can't the Venn diagram, like we do camping. A lot of people don't do camping. I actually like camping, but I've had to evolve his definition of camping to reflect some of the joys that I require,
So just to be
Which
clear,
are,
are
which
we
are, which
sleeping
are,
on
which
the
are, no, no,
ground?
beer,
I gotta
wine,
hear this. I gotta
music.
hear
Like I
this.
don't want to feel like I'm like naked and afraid. Like I want to, I want to feel like I've got some of the comforts of home.
Okay, so do you need an air mattress? Do you need air conditioning? Like, are we
No,
glamping
no,
here or what are we talking
no.
about?
I basically mean wine.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
but
well,
do you sleep
that's
on the ground?
camping.
I sleep in a sleeping bag.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
on like some padding, right? Like I need
Yeah,
padding
yeah.
because I got hips and curves at this point in my life and my back would be hurting. What do you do for food when you're camping? Like what are your meals that you bring?
she lives
Um,
off the land.
Oh, stop it. It's not naked and afraid.
I mean grilling basically. Like that's what I mean. Like that's another like when I was dating my husband, he tried to like he would before me he would use those like MREs. Like he really like
Mhm.
he's into like backpacking
What
and
does
that kind
Oh,
that
of
yeah.
mean?
Meals ready to eat. I know because my dad was military
I
and
don't know
when
because
And when we
Not
were
Like,
broke, my
we
dad
like
was eating them too.
add hot water. I'm like, no, we need a cooler, we need a grill, we need
no
s'mores. Like, yeah. So you know,
RV,
we
a
complement each other.
building, a house,
Well,
any of the above.
that could be something to work towards is an RV for the family. That would make your glamping experiences much better, and then you could work.
I see that in our future, maybe
Mhm.
even in our retirement plan.
Yeah, we could talk about that offline. I can give you a lot of fun info.
So since you just moved and apparently your room is white and a mess, so each time you've moved, have you gone to your husband and said, I want to do this? Is that how you negotiate this or how does that work?
Yeah, that it's interesting that you mentioned that because I do remember early on in my career, and I haven't even thought about this until you just said that, someone saying to me like, "You're gonna have to decide whose career you want to follow and like think about
Mhm.
that." And at that time, I never thought I would be the kind of person that would move for a job. Like I was just like, whatever, I'm not one of those people. And then opportunities started to arise where I'm like, well, maybe I do want to be one of those people.
Yeah.
And so w- there are some parameters because
What are your rules? What
Hold
are
on.
your things you
Where
have to have?
won't you move to?
there
That's
there
what.
is rules, which is that he does need to be somewhere where environmentally there are fun outdoor things to do. So the
Okay.
rules used to be ocean, like we
Mhm.
need to be, which is how like Miami was
Yep.
within the consideration set.
Mhm.
Denver was a little bit of a departure from the rules.
Snow,
They have
But it
lakes.
checked other
mountains.
boxes.
Yes.
So now everybody's excited about it. But yeah, it is basically like, hey, this opportunity, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
And, he just listens for like, have you thought about all the things? Have you totally made sure that this is the right decision for you and your career? And then if so, when are we moving? And just like move into action. So I'm really, my husband works remotely. And so that obviously makes those conversations a lot easier. But yeah, it's a
And
negotiation.
how great. And your kids are still young. So you can
Mhm.
like up that's where I moved all over. And when the kids are young, they don't care, right?
Yeah,
They care if there's like a bathroom. They have no cares in the world. Are you still there? That what's mom and dad are here. That's what
yeah,
matters. So that's
exactly.
really, really cool. And so now Denver, you've done Florida, you've done all these places. And now we get to find out like you should have actually your own TV show. You
Oh
could be
my
like
gosh.
touring with two little girls everywhere.
My cousin calls it kicking it with the Serranos. She's like,
You
I'm
already
just
have a
here for the
name.
reality show.
I'm down with that. Well, so if we're talking about sort of futures of, their life and the incoming reality TV show that we're going to build for you, what really is in your future? You said you
Yeah.
wanted to be a CMO, so you're there. And not saying that
Mhm.
you've been there a couple times now. So long term, where does Jessica see herself? Because you're pretty young.
Yeah, I'm turning 40 this year.
Shut up. I will be
Cool.
50. Oh my
Good
God,
for
you make
you.
me feel so old.
That's so great that you're so young, Jessica. So amazing. No, it's amazing.
She's
I
incredible.
know. You've
Like,
had quite the career.
okay, so those of you that are in the CPG world, this is a great way for like a great path to
Yeah.
follow. Take Jessica's lead. But tell us, like, do you have dreams of being a CEO one day?
I think I do, which is like kind
Yay.
of surprising to say out loud because, as I mentioned, at every step in my career, I think I was looking kind of like 5 years out. When I graduated from business school, I was like, oh, maybe one day I'll like be a director.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, I was one. And then, you just kind of like keep taking the next opportunity. And what now I realize is that, I am truly a marketer at heart. I love everything it is
Hmm.
about figuring out what motivates a consumer. But I'm also a very business minded marketer.
Hmm.
I'm very much tied to business outcomes, very results oriented. And so I do think that, careers are long and I could see myself, uh, evolving and taking some other
Yeah.
detours. Maybe I would even get into an operations role. And who knows? I'm really at a place one, very focused on my current role because I just started, but
Mhm.
two, just more broadly as I think about my career, it still is about like what are those gaps and how do I want to take roles that are going to help round me out. So yeah, I think I have a lot of potential.
I
I've seen
mean,
that.
also, you seem like you have incredible potential. In fact, I don't understand how we haven't even worked together before. It's crazy. However, what I did hear is CEO of Bagel Brands. She's coming for you. Good luck.
Oh, don't say
No,
that.
Don't say
no, I
that.
joke. I joke. No, she's really
No.
happy as the
But
CMO. No, but
but
someday.
I do think though, to your point, I've seen this in a couple other CMO friends where they make the move to operations. And I think we heard that
Mhm.
from somebody else on the show, didn't we, Erin? Where they said they moved from marketing to operations to
You know
round
I'm
out
not
their
gonna remember that,
experience
but that sounds right.
to get to that CEO space. So just something to think about over the next couple years.
You never
All
know.
right,
You
so
never know.
we're in Denver. We have 2 little kids. We just moved there. You're starting a new job. You basically did all the life events at one time. I mean,
Yes.
that it's pretty unbelievable. And so now you go into this new job. Who for you, who's mentored you in the past to get here?
I rely on a lot of people. And I will say I have worked for a lot of really badass women.
That's
I
awesome.
really have.
Can you
And
name a few? Just like a couple?
sure. Zip Allen just took a role at
Oh,
Sweetgreen.
yeah.
Steph
Mhm.
Perdue at
Mhm.
Chipotle. Amanda Clark, she's now CEO of
Mhm.
WellBiz. Tracy Kim, who's
Yep. We just had
CEO
her
of
on.
We
She's
just had Tracy
amazing.
on.
Trade. Yeah, and the list goes on and on. Marissa Thalberg, she was the CMO at Taco Bell, now CMO at J.C. Penney, and so those are all people who I still can text at any time and say, "Hey, I need you to review this offer letter with me.
Mm.
I need you to help me navigate this weird people thing that I'm dealing with." All of those, I need a vendor recommendation. So I'm really grateful that I have a roster of women who are ahead of me on the path that I can reach out to. And then I have a great peer set as well. And I think
Yeah.
um, part of what made me invest in that was working at an emerging brand. Because when you work at
Mhm.
Yum or RBI, like you're in this ecosystem of all these people and you kind of take for granted the water cooler
Yep.
Mhm.
dynamics. And then when I was at Dig, first of all, like the air gets thinner at the top. When you're an executive, you don't have like
100%.
the peers, to blow off steam with. And then two, you're just like, what's your tech stack? And how are you doing this with your budget? And so I just started reaching out to people. So yeah, the industry peers have been really helpful to me as well. And honestly, like even therapy, man, like
Word.
for me, like when I go through a big life transition, I know that like can trigger a lot. That's a big stress trigger for
Mhm.
me. And so like I have a coach that helps me navigate transitions.
Like
So
an executive coach, or do
That's
you have a
amazing.
therapist and an executive coach?
She
I
has a
I
team. She has a whole team
That's
she
what
pays
I always think
for.
there takes a team of people to keep this shit show together, right? Like,
Yes,
that's what
I
it takes,
outsource everything. My mental health, my childcare,
right?
housekeeping, like, and I don't apologize for any of that.
Nor should
No.
you. But are you able to outsource anything to AI?
Oh
Are
my gosh.
you?
Yes, I'm a huge, huge fan of AI. In
What are
fact,
you doing with it? How are you using it? I'm curious and I'm about to embark on teaching others, so I have to learn.
all day, every day, I personally use Chat Pro. And I mean, everything. Like I have my different like projects that have
Mhm.
um like prompts so that they know what we're talking about. I mean, yesterday I've spent 24 hours of my week in focus groups this week. And my
Wow.
first job at Taco Bell, I feel like all I did was write concepts. I was just like a concept writing queen. And now when I'm, writing concepts between groups and everything, I'm like, chat, help me to like come up with this benefit. And I'm grateful that I know how to do it, but gosh, it like really helps my life. So that's just like one example. But I mean, it helped me plan a vacation,
Yeah.
all the things.
I love that. So, okay, you're quite refreshing, right? Just to listen to talk to, and I could probably give you 100 more compliments. But you come across incredibly confident. So, when do you think in your life little girl, teenager? Where did you get this confidence from? Who gave you this confidence? And like, how have you owned your space as you grew up?
I don't know if I've always been this confident. I have done a lot of work on myself over the last, I mean, I'm always a work in progress, but I feel like one of the things that I have really worked on most recently is like acceptance and not operating from a place of fear. And so
How do you
when
do
you
that?
just like always
Erin, she,
anchoring like what's within my control. And so one of my mantras is like just do the next thing. That's what I always say, because if I think about like, oh my gosh, the totality of the challenge
Mhm.
ahead of me, I can get all in my head and who do I think I am? And that's when the like, imposter syndrome starts to creep in, but it's
Yeah.
like, what do I know? What do I not know? What do I need to do to go figure that out? Like if I'm just always doing the next thing, then I don't have anything to worry about. So just like, but I say that easily, but it took a long time to grow
It
into
takes practice, right? It's still the memory, the muscle memory. And what I heard you say is Dory's just keep swimming resonated with you,
that. Yes.
right? Do the
Yes,
next thing.
that's right.
well, what other mantras do you have? It sounds like you've got some guiding principles for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, from a marketing perspective,
Hmm.
the one that my team probably gets tired of me hearing is let the guest decide. I really,
Mhm.
not, my opinion is really not that important or that interesting. I always want to hear from the guest. And I also, from a leadership standpoint, how might we? It's easy to say all the things that we can't do, but just always kind of trying to ask that next question of, okay, how might we? And we will figure out what's the next indicated thing.
Well, and I like that you use the word we because it's sort of leaning into I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't sound like Jessica does anything alone.
No, she's
She
got
has
a
a group
damn
of people
team.
just
Except
literally following her.
You know, it's crazy.
except
I want a
I need
team
my
so
alone
bad.
time.
I'm like,
I know.
how do I get one?
I'm literally going to call my brother after this and be like, I talked to this woman and she has other people that follow her when she moves. And so I'm going to need you to pack up. I'm going to
Hold
need
on,
you to
hold on,
go.
hold on, though. Let's be fair. She moved to Denver and you live in Wisconsin.
I don't know why you said that like that because it's really nice here.
It's
So
really cold a lot of the time. And
also,
I
we're only
told you,
recording on Fridays from now on
I
based on my energy that I'm bringing to the table.
I told you that you should get a massage, and you said you didn't have a massage place nearby. So
No, they're always booked. I had Marcus, but then like he went out for his honeymoon, but he was good. I liked him. All right. So I think we need to move into some food for thought. Not that we
agreed.
sprinkled a little bit in, but Jessica, just so you know, these are uh, just fun. We used to call it rapid fire. It turns out we're very slow. So food for thought questions. Tammy, you want to kick it off?
Yes. What's your favorite reality show?
90 Day Fiance.
What is it?
Oh,
What?
90 Day Fiance.
I don't think I've watched it.
Do
I
you think they
apparently
really get married?
Yes.
in 90 days.
They have children and everything.
Shut up. Is that
No.
part
Have
of the
you
show
followed
too?
them?
I follow all these people on Instagram. Like, yeah, I mean, some of the storylines are BS or exaggerated, but
Right.
some of these people really get married and have children together. A lot of them, actually.
I'm going
In
to
90
introduce you
days.
to my gay bestie, and you can have a text
Please
chain with
do.
him on this show. He loves the
Do you
show.
watch the
Please do. Because I'm like,
Kardashians?
sometimes stuff happens. I'm like, I have no one to talk about this.
Okay, Erin, you're up.
Okay. Favorite restaurant, which is going to be hard because you've worked for all of them, but one you haven't worked for.
It
Okay.
could be a chain, it could be an independent, it could be anything.
That's
There's no
hard.
rules.
What's coming to mind for me right now is like is like Red Lobster, actually.
I love Red Lobster. This
Yay,
is
we got to get Nicole on the
oh my
show.
god.
Yeah.
My parents got engaged at Red Lobster. The buns, like it's so good.
That's where
It's so
my parents would take me if I like for my birthday or like if I
yeah.
had and so like yeah, just good memories.
Also, where
Graduation
can you get that
parties.
much butter shrimp for that price?
Okay, well, if you could go anywhere in the world on a vacation, where would you go? All expenses paid
She's already been there.
with
Doesn't
your
matter.
whole
A little
team.
time. You know what? I have yet to be anywhere in Africa.
Okay.
And
Is
so
that a bucket list?
yeah.
Morocco's right there at the top. Let's work our way down.
Actually, I was going to say Morocco. Morocco is one of the many countries I would like to visit there.
Okay.
I
Erin,
mean,
you're up.
too. I have lots of them, but I'm still on Morocco. Hold on. All right. If you could do one thing that isn't what you do now, not in restaurants, what's another job that was your dream job? If you could have it.
TV producer.
For 90 Day Fiance?
You would be great at that, Jess.
That would check out. You'd be really close to him.
Yeah.
You should, I mean, chapter 2 of life.
Never too late.
Well,
Never
now
too late.
we're in the era of content creation, and you are super young. So if you do decide you want to do that, there's plenty of time, and you could build a show around your team of people.
All right. So our last question we ask everyone that comes on is, if you could nominate one woman or women, doesn't matter, you can have multiple, that you would like to listen to on Bite-Sized and Bossy, who would that be?
Oof. That is a good question. You know who I have not spent a lot of time with, but I've admired her career is Kim Freer. Has she been on?
No, she has not.
She at Capriati's, right? No,
No,
that's Kim
Lewis. Kim Freer is she left Wetzel's, and
She's
she
at
was at Raising
Raising
Cane's, I
Cane's,
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Great.
had some interesting stops, and I think I've only met her once, but I've always followed along her journey on LinkedIn. She'd be one I'd want to hear from.
All right, Kim Freer.
I love that you chose somebody not that you know very well, too. Nobody has done that, and that is awesome.
That's why she wants to listen to her on the podcast.
I know,
Yeah,
but
'cause
I think that's really cool. Most people just name their friends, so
I know
think
I
it's
have lots
awesome.
of friends that I could recommend, but I want to hear from somebody I don't already know the story.
All right, well, I've heard them drone on. Let's hear from someone else.
Jessica, you are, first of all, unbelievably impressive, and I don't understand why we're not best friends already.
Because I thought I was your best friend. That's what you said yesterday.
You are. I can have more. I can have multiple. And if you're my best friend, you just said you had a gay best friend. So you also have two.
You're the straight one.
All right. Well, we can put you in a spot too if we're going to decide based on
Back
that.
to Jessica.
But Jessica, you are absolutely amazing and incredibly impressed by you. I'm so happy that Tammy was like, we have to have Jessica on. And so we learned not only that you are raising a family, but you're raising a whole tribe behind you, or they're raising you. And you are a communal person who brings people together and lifts people up, but you're strategic and you're business oriented and you do all these things. And you're just really impressive. So we can't thank you enough for coming on and spending your time with us.
Well, thanks. I'm flattered. I'm honored. And I received that. It's so fun.
Well, amazing. So for anyone who doesn't follow, this is Bite-Sized and Bossy. Like us, subscribe, rate us, only 5 stars, but
all the
keep
things.
Listening. Yep.
Tell your
we
friend.
will be back next week, just like this week. And we'll see who we have as a guest. So thank you again.
Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going.